Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy GrandmastaJ, and today we have some more replay reviews. You hear the jazz music, okay? I know you guys hear it. So today we are going back to floor one, all right? Back to floor one, gonna be coaching this Nago player, all right? Nago versus Kai. And remember, when you're talking about floor one players, right? Or when you're talking about coaching in general, this is shout out to all my coaches in the future or whatever the frick, or people watching this video. You have to coach people based on the floor that they're at. So I can't tell this guy, hey, be more optimal. Hey, play neutral. Hey, this is the matchup, blah, blah, blah. They don't understand that kind of stuff. And it's okay, right? Everyone has to start somewhere. And sometimes we just need a little bit of direction. So the advice I'm going to give them is going to be tailored to something that is reasonable for them to do based on what I'm seeing them play, right? If I see them capable of doing a combo, I might challenge them to do a bit of a harder combo. If I see them capable of doing a quarter circle, I might challenge them to use a specific move more often than not. So with that being said, let's see what we can garner from this match and see how we can help this fella out. All right, got some visuals in the back just in case. We're gonna get into it. Okay, let's do it. Nago versus Kyle. Okay, now as a Nago player, right, you kind of have the advantage in lower levels if you know what you're doing. Let's see what's going on. Okay, he blocks, presses far slash. So far slash is a great button already, off rip. No 6P, but of course, don't really expect that. White Wild Assault. Knows how to White Wild Assault. That's cool. Knows how to Fukio too, all right? Pressing a lot of 5H, pressing a lot of far slash, and not really blocking. But we've already seen that floor one players don't really know how to block that much in general, all right? But he knows some stuff, right? Like he knows how to do quarter circles forwards and back. Actually, well, I didn't see him do a back one yet, but this is still pretty good, right? Honestly, like aside from the whole not blocking, because nobody in floor one blocks. Honestly, the biggest advice I would really give to him, even at this point in time, is okay. That's great. Far slash record is extremely strong as an Nago player. Well, obviously as an Nago player, but it's extremely strong at these floors. So I might ask him to do that a lot more. I would love to see a lot more Fukio. I'm sorry, not Fukio, a lot more Beyblade. Okay. All right. So he kind of has a bit of knowledge on how to block, or not necessarily how to block, but yeah, he blocks on wake up and stuff like that. So he's already kind of ahead of the curve. I hope that his habit does not falter when he notices that people don't really like challenge him on wake up, because obviously people at this level are not necessarily going to challenge him on wake up. But I think that's okay even at this level. All right, so now they're kind of just playing like this weird back and forth game. He's pressing a lot of far slash. I do like seeing him press a lot of far slash. I wish I could see him press more Beyblade, because obviously like Beyblade is like super overtuned right now, and like it goes low and it travels really far, right? So he knows, and now here's the thing, knows how to block supers, which is big already, right? You see thing come at you and you block it, right? That's kind of obvious, right? Doesn't try to challenge with anything weird, doesn't try to mash. So there's clearly a shell of a player here, right? He understands some basic concepts like, okay, block projectile, block fireball, block thing, block on wake up, right? Understands some of those concepts, but obviously just needs a little bit of help with, like, I guess confirms, super easy combos to learn, super good buttons to press. Honestly, knows the good buttons to press, but presses them even when out of range and kind of like backs up a bit too much, right? And I noticed that these lower level games, that aggression wins, right? The more aggressive you are, the more you kind of win. So, all right, we're seeing, so even this being a good example, the Kai player is far more aggressive, right? And I feel like as a Nago player, if you just know, especially at the lower levels, to start using the far slash Rekka, then you will do pretty well. And knowing how to do Wild Assault at this level is super good. Managed to block the super, does not get chipped out here, which is shocking, right? Does do the far slash Rekka, but drops it. Okay, does 6H. Kai player is obviously not blocking. And then goes for the 2H into getting hit and dying, all right? So, that was the match. Oh, whoa, holy cow, that was really fast. That was the match, right? A lot to kind of like pick apart from there, but I think the most important thing, let's jump into the game right now. So I feel like the most important thing right now for the Nago player was that I noticed that they started doing far slash Rekka, but they never really committed to it, right? And now, as a Nago player, just in general, at all levels, right? The far slash reg is very, very good. Even on block at lower levels, and I do emphasize at lower levels, right? Because one, it's a 1, 2, 3 hitting move, right? It doesn't really do that much damage, but it does two big things, right? One, it creates a hard knockdown, and two, it's hold on, this jazz move is mad lag, right? Like, oh, turn the frick down. One, it creates it creates a hard knockdown, which is super, super good. But two, it also manages Nago's blood meter, right? So if you're a Nago player, I would love to see a lot more Beyblade, right? A lot more of this, right? Because at lower levels, people aren't really going to block low. And even if they block low at lower levels, they're not going to block low and also be capable of punishing if I mash throw. So one thing that I would teach at the very lower levels, if you're a lower level Nago player, well, welcome to the channel. I hope you subscribe. But also, something like this, 1, 2, 3, that would be really, really good. And even if they block it, you can just mash throw, because most of the time, they're not really going to punish with anything meaningful. For example, they're not really going to punish with a throw, which is like the most important thing that they can do. And even if they try to mash, say, for example, they're mashing close slash, right? Or not 5K, close slash. Right. If they're mashing close slash on this, which is -2, you still punish them, right? They're gonna have to mash with something a bit more reasonable, like even doing the math. I think like 5P or 5K still doesn't work. I think you literally have to throw this in order to actually get a punish on it. Let me just test real quick. Boom. Yeah, you're really gonna have to mash throw to get a punish on it, and most people don't really know that's the case. So even just doing Beyblade in neutral is very, very strong, right? And knowing how to do White Wild Assault is also extremely good. One thing I would say, if you know how to do White Wild Assault, or if you at least know that White Wild Assault exists, I would suggest going for the hold version all the time, right? And the reason why you would go for the hold version all the time is that it true combos into the far slash Rekka, and it has, again, just more invincibility overall, right? Puts you in a much more, like, just being more invincible could put you in a more advantageous situation and be able to fish for more counter hits. And also, the opponent doesn't really know how to deal with it, right? They might jump over it, they might do something, but they're not really going to know how to deal with it, especially at these lower levels. It's an extremely powerful tool, even at the higher levels. And the counterplay for that at the higher levels is that if they go for the charged version, you might be able to react to it with a throw or something like that. But it still is super, super good even at the higher levels. So if they block this, for example, the next step would be, right, just go into the far slash Rekka, right? Same thing I was telling you before, right? Is just to go into this situation right here. So I would suggest looping this exact situation. You do that. Boom, 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 throw, right? That's just a great sequence overall. And if they get hit, as you saw, you can just kind of rinse and repeat. So for example, say they don't block their legs, or they are mashing something in the middle of this Rekka, boom, you can just keep mashing slash. Maybe not mashing slash, but I mean, that would be the next step, which is like to kind of like learn that slight delay. Well, you just got to delay it slightly. You got to do close slash, delay it slightly, and then do it again. So that might be the next step in terms of like kind of staircasing yourself into the higher floors. So that's, I think, the biggest thing. I don't really, like, you don't really want to give too much information at these levels, but biggest takeaways is that, one, be aggressive, right? When it comes to these lower levels, the aggressor wins most of the time. If you play a little passive, you don't really win. That's kind of how it is at these lower levels, at these lower level games. It's just the person who presses the most buttons wins. And Nago is very capable of pressing a lot of buttons. So if you're at a distance right here, right, I would suggest learning this, learn that. That's a very good thing to learn, which is Fukyo forward into Beyblade, right? Or if you're around like a little bit closer, just Beyblade, right? Just do it. Even if you're far away, you can Beyblade into far slash, right? You're not really gonna punish that, right? They're not gonna punish that. You can try to block. Even if they punish that, it's not gonna be super, super dangerous, right? And this is just something for you to know in the future as a future Nago player. If you're above 2 bars of blood meter, or blood gauge, start mashing 5H. Just start mashing that button, dude. Start mashing the heavy button. Mash this button. It's super, super fast, super, super oppressive, super, super obnoxious. And also start mashing 2H, right? Again, super, super fast, super, super obnoxious, super, super oppressive, right? And if they get close, right, or if they get hit by that, you can go forward, just keep doing it. Keep doing it, man, right? But be careful not to go and pop Blood Rage. It's just not super great for you, right? And then, you know, mashing far slash is always a completely fine option because even on block, it recovers a good chunk of meter. And yeah, all good things. But anyways, that's it for your boy. I hope you guys learned something. I know I sure have. And whoever is watching this and gained some information from it and thinks that's useful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing the video. And as always, catch you on the next one.